Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level.
We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
ABC pays $15 million for defamation. NATO needs to raise defense spending. South Korean president impeached, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. ABC News and its top anchor, George Stephanopoulos, have reached a settlement with Donald Trump in his defamation suit, which will result in the news network paying the president-elect $15 million. The settlement was publicly filed on Saturday, revealing that the two parties have come to an agreement and avoided a costly trial. According to the settlement, ABC News will pay $15 million as a charitable contribution to a presidential foundation and museum to be established by or for the plaintiff, as presidents of the United States of America have established in the past. Additionally, the network will pay $1 million in Trump's attorney's fees. Stephanopoulos and ABC News also had to issue statements of regret as an editor's note at the bottom of a March 10, 2024 online article about comments made earlier this year that prompted Trump to file the defamation lawsuit. The note reads, ABC News and George Stephanopoulos regret statements regarding President Donald J. Trump made during an interview by George Stephanopoulos with Representative Nancy Mace on ABC's This Week on March 10, 2024. George Stephanopoulos has since deleted his Twitter account. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte painted a grim picture of the world and called on Europe and Canada to ramp up their defense spending Thursday. Rutte made the comments during an address to member countries at a Carnegie Europe conference in Brussels. He issued stark warnings about Russia's alleged ambitions beyond Ukraine, as well as China's own growing aggression. I'll be honest, the security situation does not look good, Rutte began, calling it the worst in his lifetime. From Brussels, it takes 1 day to drive to Ukraine. That's how close the Russian bombs are falling. It's how close the Iranian drones are flying. And not much further, the North Korean soldiers are fighting. Rutte went on to argue that Putin poses a wider threat to Europe beyond Ukraine, saying he wants to crush our freedom and way of life. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz said there were more than 24 confidential human sources in the crowd on January 6th, but only 3 were assigned by the FBI to be present for the event, while stressing that none of the sources was authorized or directed by the Bureau to break the law or encourage others to commit illegal acts. Horowitz on Thursday released his highly anticipated report on the FBI's handling of its confidential human sources and intelligence collection efforts in the lead-up to the January 6, 2021 electoral certification. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol was impeached on Saturday in a vote triggered after his fleeting failed attempt to impose martial law in early December. A presidential election must be held within 60 days if the incumbent is dismissed or resigns. The vote was 204 in favor of impeachment and 85 voting against it. Voting in 3 abstentions and 8 votes were ruled invalid. The vote required a 2/3 majority to pass. Prime Minister Han Duck-soo will serve as acting president following the vote after Yoon was suspended from state duties. A devastating arson attack on a Melbourne synagogue is now being investigated as a possible terror attack, drawing worldwide attention to a stark increase in anti-Semitism in Australia. Masked vandals set the Adass Israel synagogue aflame on December 6th, in one of several incidents that have left the Jewish community seeking support from government leaders. On Wednesday, Sky News Australia reported a car was destroyed after being set on fire in a Jewish community in Sydney. At least 2, but possibly as many as 7 buildings in the area were vandalized, with one graffiti tag reading, "Kill Israel." This rash of hate followed in the wake of a similar incident late last month when vehicles in a restaurant in the same area were covered with graffiti. Following the attacks in Sydney, New South Wales Premier Chris Minns told Sky News Australia, Sydney per capita has the 2nd highest number of Holocaust survivors in the world, explaining that they came to Australia specifically to be free from this kind of hate. Amazon is donating $1 million to President-elect Donald Trump's inaugural fund as founder Jeff Bezos and other tech leaders shore up ties with the incoming administration. The donation is being prepared as Bezos, Amazon's executive chairman, is slated to visit Trump this week at his Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, according to people familiar with the matter. Tech companies have been the target of intense criticism by Trump and his allies, and other tech leaders have hastened to smooth ties with him. Mark Zuckerberg directed Meta Platforms to also make a $1 million contribution to Trump's inaugural fund. Bezos and the company decided on the contribution earlier last week and communicated it to Trump's team, according to some of the people. Bezos is donating through Amazon, according to a person close to Bezos. Amazon also will stream the inauguration through its Prime Video business, a separate in-kind donation valued at $1 million, another of the people said. Warner Brothers Discovery, the owner of the Max streaming service and TV channels like CNN, TNT, and TBS, announced a major restructuring last week that will create a linear TV division separate from its streaming and studio divisions. The move is widely seen as a potential prelude to spinning off or selling its struggling cable TV business, as Comcast recently said it plans to do for its similarly enfeebled TV segment. Warner Brothers Discovery's stock shot up after the news as investors imagined a future where the company is unshackled from its burdensome traditional TV obligations. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.